Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello and welcome. In this session, we are going to discuss about marketing research. Marketing research relates to gathering data and then process it so that meaningful decision can be taken based on the inference that can be drawn, and eventually strategic decision can be made, and new marketing strategies can be formulated. The outlines of the discussion is like this. We are going to define what is marketing research, highlight the importance of market information at every stage of the company, outline the step-by-step marketing research process, sources of information, discuss how companies use information for decision making. The most important event of any enterprise is the time when someone is making payment in exchange for goods and services that is under offer. But then before that, you need some customer who are going to pay. You need a product or service that the customer is ready to buy in exchange for money. So a decision, so a lot of preparation is necessary to come to that level. First of all, who are the customers? How to identify them? Then identify their pain. Then develop a product that solve their pain better than what is being offered by the competitors. So you need to understand the competition, need to understand the pain, need to understand solutions that are available, need to understand what can be a better solution, a better value proposition, so the customer will come to us rather than going to our competitors. So market risk, these are all information that one has to gather so as to be able to plan developing a product. So even before we plan to develop a product and start a company, we need to understand the pain. We need to understand the number of people who have this pain, whether building a solution, developing a solution will be cost effective, will be profitable. What is going to be the cost of customer acquisition, meaning out of the crowd you have to identify the segment and then gradually bring them down through the funnel for them to make a purchase. So the whole thing is data driven, and gathering data, making sense of it through analysis, and then take actions that is desired, that is desirable, is the process of market research. Without data, it's very difficult to make decisions. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle famously said, it's a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. So data is the most important thing. It has always been, and today it is more important because now data can be processed for meaningful decision making, to meaningful insight generation. Mukesh Ambani famously said, the data is the new oil. So if anybody has access to data, he or she or that country is wealthier compared to others who do not have access to data. So here are some definitions. We have a number of them, we will not spend a lot of time. Marketing research is systematic design of experiment. This whole process of gathering data, processing, etc. is experiment. So you have to design the experiment, then collect data, analyze them, and then report the findings. And based on the report, decisions will be taken. So this whole thing is defined as market research. Market research provides data helping to identify market plan, understand market structure, customer segment, target market, product positioning, design advertisement campaign to identify and reach your target market at a price customers are willing to pay. Another definition, American Marketing Association. Marketing research as the function which links the consumer, the customer and public to the marketers. Consumer are the people who consume. Customers are the people who make the purchase. So, they may not be the same, they may be the same. And then public to the marketers through information that is used to identify and define marketing opportunities and problems, refine and evaluate marketing actions, monitor marketing performance and improve understanding of marketing as a process. There are other definitions, but the succinct message is that you design an experiment, whatever data is necessary for meaningful insight, collect that data, process it, analyze it, and then come up with the insight and communicate it to the right people so that they can make strategic decision. Definition given in Wikipedia. Market research helps identify unmet demand and identify opportunities. There is an unmet demand, so you can always formulate a solution and then help people to meet that demand. Understand market needs, preferences, aspirations and helps to refine offerings. Marketing research helps to evaluate customer satisfaction and marketing performance, improve product service customer satisfaction, acquire and retain growing number of loyal customers. It is a systematic and objective process of design, research methodology and collecting market data, analyzing them to generate information, disseminate the information to decision makers, use the information for providing decision makers to create customer value, satisfaction and gain increasing access to customer for achieving profitable growth. Marketing research gives decision makers the information they need to find a solution to business problems such as following: how satisfied the customers with your product and service offering? How will customers react to a decision to change a price or some features of a product or the quality or some aspect of your product or service? What are service representatives hearing from the customers? Collate that, process that and get insight and take corrective actions. What responses to competition will bring you success in a given market? What the competitors are doing, and if we do something, or what should we do to respond to competitors' new actions so that we can remain ahead of competition. Role of market research. The task of marketing research is to provide management with relevant, accurate, reliable, valid and current information. So, marketing is one division and top bosses are waiting for insight from the marketing research division. So, their job is to provide accurate, reliable, valid and current information. Competitive marketing environment and the ever increasing cost attributed to poor decision making require that marketing research provide sound information. Sound decisions are not based on gut feel, intuition or even pure judgment. It must be based on data. Majority of the startups, as we see, make decision based on gut feel or their own judgment or back of the envelope calculations. That may be one of the reasons why most of their decisions go haywire and eventually they have to continue to firefight. It's very important. Marketing research is very, very important because this alone will guide all the actions that will eventually lead us to sell our product, get money, make profit, sustain the business. So, managers make numerous strategic decisions in the process of identifying potential opportunities, target market selection, market segmentation, planning and implementing marketing programs, marketing performance, satisfying customer needs and control. So, obviously marketing research is very important. An example of market research and its outcome. In 1985, HarperCollins thought that let us change our book a little bit, the Agatha Christie novels. The publisher thought let us change the book a little bit so that we get better growth, we sell more books. So, they changed the book a little bit, but to their surprise the sales actually went down. They did not realize why the sales went down, because the book remains the same, the story remains the same, why should the sales go down? So, they commissioned a market research. They talked to customers who are either buying or not buying the novels, and it revealed that customers definitely likes the niceness of the stories, but the new cover was gruesome, was bloody. So, they did not feel so at ease while buying the book, just set aside and bought another book rather than Agatha Christie books. So, they changed the cover. HarperCollins changed the cover, immediately sales went up by 40%. Just a little bit of market research and a little bit of action by the publisher has raised the sales by 40%. This is a direct example of market research doing wonders to a product. Marketing research activities are numerous. In fact, throughout the life cycle of an enterprise, at every stage of the enterprise, market research is highly relevant. So, it starts with identify market segment actually. Then once you identify the segment, then you develop the product, you target particular niche market segment, then position, you try to build a brand, then you do competition analysis. In customer acquisition, you need marketing research because you do lot of experiments and lot of stimulation. You introduce lot of stimulation so that customer comes to your fold, they eventually take action of buying your product. So, you do concept testing, product optimization, pricing research, advertising research, usability testing of your product, and eventually you, after test, you take corrective actions, or whatever actions actually is giving better profit, you accentuate those actions. Then for customer retention, you do many things in the form of market research. You try to understand customer satisfaction and loyalty. So, you do loyalty research. Then customer communication testing, you do usability testing, you do customer experience and shopping insight testing. At the beginning, you make customer awareness test, whether customers are aware about your product, and if you give an advertisement, how the awareness has gone up or how many people have become aware. Is the method of communication right, or has the communication elicited the desired response, or can we do something to increase the awareness? All these are done through marketing research. Do market research to identify trend, competition analysis, target market analysis, price analysis, marketing plan, SWOT analysis, market segment, market structure. We talk about SWOT analysis. So, let us just take a digression and talk about the SWOT analysis. I may forget to do it later, so just introducing. Strength, S for strength. Strength is why the company excels better than competitor. So, if you understand that this is our strength, you accentuate there, so that it kind of positively enhances, so that you are much ahead of the competition. W is weakness, areas where the company is weak or inferior compared to the competitors, or maybe company is vulnerable in competition in particular features where company needs improvement. So, once you identify the weakness, you can take corrective actions so that weakness is no longer there. O for opportunities. Opportunities are favorable external and internal factors that the company can exploit to build competitive advantages. Then threat, factors that can harm the company's performance and the company or can weaken the competitive advantage. So, all these are important. Like strengths, you accentuate, opportunities you exploit, weakness you try to overcome, threats you take preventive measures so that company is not exposed to threats. There are several research approaches that we are going to discuss. There are systematic, well laid down process. The following slides will actually talk about all of that. Now, this is not really for consumption. This merely shows that there are several methods of gathering data, analyzing data, like online communication, text analytics, like mobile surveys, media analysis, etc., etc. We are not going to discuss at length, but this shows a diverse methodologies and process or options through which marketers and companies are gathering data, analyzing to get to know the changing aspirations of the customer, changing likings of the customers, so as to meet the needs better than the competitors and remain ahead. As I have been always overemphasizing, marketing research starts at the very outset, meaning the moment you think that you want to start a business and you have identified a pain point, you start doing market research, because you need to know how many people have the pain. You need to know what is the competition. You need to know how the market structure is. You need to know what the segment is. So, the first step to start a business is to know who are your customers, where to find them, what do they buy at present that your product would replace, what features and quality standard, at what price. To know everything, you start market research at the very beginning. Understanding customers' response at every stage is indispensable. Therefore, when you are building a product, you need to build the product based on validated learning, meaning at every stage you build a product slightly better than the previous and then get it evaluated by actual customers, get the feedback, learn, and then take corrective measures to refine it so that customer likes it even better. So, it is a validated learning cycle. You build a minimum viable prototype or maybe slightly better, moving forward step by step in phases, get it evaluated, get the information, collect the information, learn from there, ideate again how you can change, what features to keep, what features to drop, and then eventually come up with a product that customers are ready to buy. So, there is no risk that when you produce the product the customer may not buy. That risk is gone. Marketing research continue as long as the company exists, just like you start with market research, but as you achieve success, you are in the growth phase or maybe in the saturation phase, marketing research is always relevant. You need to always gather information from customers about the level of their satisfaction, about the changing needs of the customers, about the changing offerings by competitors, so that you are not taken by surprise that another product comes and your product no longer sells. Customers are integral part of product development process, starting from the development of the product till the company exists. For a going concern, company exists perpetually. If you can develop a product based on validated learning, then there is no chance that customer will not buy what you produce. Why market research for startup? So long the discussion has been centered around this very point. Ideally, marketing research starts while identifying pain point. You need to understand the size of the market structure, which consists of growth so far, present growth, future growth, and then what is the competition, what is the gap between demand supply, what is market concentration, like who are the dominant player, are they very few in number, market types, like whether it's a monopolistic market or monopolistic competition, oligopolistic or monopolistic market. Market research helps to understand all of this and then help to make a decision whether to go or not to go. If to go, then what kind of product. Market research helps to understand customers' likely acceptance of the product even before they are launched. So, if they are on board during the process of product development, they already know about the product and you already know that they like it. In line with the lean method, one should continue to develop process based on validated learning. You need to engage with the customer all through. But then what are the steps for marketing research? Steps we have already discussed, like gathering data, processing it, and then communicate. But then there is a established model for steps, decide model. D for define the marketing problem, means around what problem you need to do the market research. E for enumerate the controllable and uncontrollable decision factors. Controllable factors you can understand. Price is a controllable factor, quality is a controllable factor, cost is a controllable factor. What is uncontrollable factors? They are political factors, they are environmental factors. Suppose you are manufacturing air conditioner. Maybe if it is too hot in the next year, your conditioners will sell more. But this is not dependent on your wish, or you have nothing to do to control the temperature, ambient temperature. So, there are uncontrollable factors, there are controllable factors. But then you can gather data on uncontrollable factors as well and estimate what is the likelihood of the next season being overly hot or moderately hot. And then based on that, you can plan your production, you can plan your offerings, discount, promotion, etc. C for collect relevant information. I for identify the best alternative. What alternatives? Marketing research is many processes. Depending on the kind of decision that you intend to take, you have to adopt a particular process. Do you need qualitative data or quantitative data? Would you like to do a primary market research, meaning you want to gather data directly from the source of the data, or you would like to depend on some available data in some database or in some published journal? Then for every purpose there is a different ways of doing market research. Whether you want to do a causal research, like you want to give some stimulation to the market and see what is the reaction to the target audience. Depending on that, you decide whether this is the right stimulation or you need to do something else. D for develop and implement a marketing plan. So, based on the information, you do marketing plan, evaluate the decision and the decision process. Once you do the marketing plan, then see what is the outcome of the plan. Has it performed the way we intended? So, evaluate that and then take actions. But then other than the processes, there are other issues as well for marketing research. Most important one is spend on market research. Market research requires a lot of money. If you are going to talk to 1 million people, you will end up spending millions of rupees in doing that. So, what is going to be your sample size? If your sample size say 1000, then you will have a particular level of comfort about the veracity of the data that you collect. If you talk to 100 people, you will have a lesser comfort, but then you will save a lot of money. So, depending on your budget, your process will depend. Types of marketing research. What type of research you are going to do? Primary, secondary, or qualitative, quantitative, or exploratory, or causal research. Potential problems. What kind of problems are there at hand, so that you can decide what kind of marketing research you would like to do. Types of market research. Market research are divided into 3 particular types. One is based on source. What is the source of data is one type. What is the methodology of data collection, that is another type. What is the objective of doing the market research is another. So, by source it is primary or secondary. Primary means data are collected from the source itself. Like suppose you would like to understand how many people are interested to purchase air conditioner in the next summer. So, you may like to talk to potential middle class and above middle class people, and then get to know if they possess air conditioner, if they do not possess air conditioner, what is their decision to buy or not to buy in the next summer. Depending on that, you make your own decision. But then you have to approach to many people to get this data. But then you are collecting data from the actual consumer. That is what is primary research. But if you collect data from some available data source, such as maybe a database available in the marketplace, or say some journals that publishes data that this time the weather is likely to be like this and air conditioners may find a growth of 5%, 10%, depending on that you can make a decision. That is secondary data, means data have been collected for a different purpose or for this purpose, but by somebody else, but not by the company per se, and this data is available with anybody whosoever is ready to pay money for the data. That is secondary data. Qualitative data, quantitative data. Quantitative data is in terms of numerical number, how many people, how many products are going to be sold. Qualitative may be good, better, best kind, maybe whether there is demand for the best quality product or demand for the highest or medium priced product, something like that, qualitative. Then by objective is first of all exploratory. You just want to explore whether there is a demand for a product. Suppose in a particular village there is no air conditioner, but then if you make some kind of a awareness campaign, maybe some of the people will buy. So, you would like to explore. You do not really would like to talk to each and every person, but you just want to have some early preliminary idea. So, that is exploratory. Descriptive is again by objective, meaning you want to get a holistic view about the structure of the demand. Then causal and experimental, that is you give some stimulation, what is the response to that stimulation, that is causal research. Such as you reduce the price of your product, expecting that sales will increase. Now, you take data, collect data whether sales has actually gone up. Suppose sales did not go up, then you try to identify why sales did not go up, because price was reduced. Now, it may reveal that customers perceived that price reduction as deteriorating quality. Maybe customers thought this product has become cheaper, so maybe company has compromised on quality, something like that. Information source, primary source, information collected directly and primarily for the problem at hand. Secondary source, maybe data collected by some government officials, journals, databases, etc., etc. Now, if you are gathering data from a secondary source, cost is very low, because this data will be sold to several people, and maybe this data are collected for a different purpose, the purpose is already served. So, they are okay selling the data at a low cost. Secondary information is cheaper, that is why. Some information is available in published literature. Now, primary source may be 5 types. What are they? First of all is survey. Survey is the most important method of gathering data and most widely used. Majority of the companies at some point of time will be using market survey. Survey involves questionnaire. So, you write several questions in a questionnaire, send this questionnaire either through mail or through post, and then to the target audience, and then the audience will fill that questionnaire with their responses. Then you make analysis of the of the responses and make your own decision about the problem, the solution. Focus group. This target a demographic, particular demographic. You invite people in a room and you educate them in the room about the problem and the solution. That look, you have this problem and we have this solution, and you try to understand their responses. It's not one-to-one. One-to-one is interview. It is one-to-many, meaning in a room there will be many people. There may be a one-way glass on the wall, and marketing people may be watching customers' response to certain discussion, so that they can immediately jot down as to what exactly the customers are excited about or depressed about. So, they will make their own decision. Deep exploration is done through interview. You will interview either one person or 2-3 person at one time to know their reaction to something. You can change your question, you can, depending on their responses, you can frame your own new questions to get deeper and deeper and understand their deeper feelings about a product. Then experiment and field trial. As I said, you can reduce the price and see. We will see about Barack Obama's campaign team that they use the A/B test moving forward. Another way of observation, that is, you observe closely the purchase behavior of customers. Maybe in a mall you are standing at the corner watching customers, they are picking up your label and then they are reading something and then putting it back or putting it in the basket. Depending on what they are doing, what they are reading, what they did not like in your label, you can make decisions. So, that is how marketing research is done. Survey, as I said, it is done normally through questionnaire. People of particular demographic are chosen to respond to product or service. Focus group are people of similar demographic. They have a similar kind of aspiration, similar kind of challenges, problems. They are homogeneous in certain parameters, such as college goers, new wed women or new moms, like that. So, you bring them in a room and talk to them about a product that is very specific to them and get to know in deeper insight as to what will entice them into buying. Another 3 methods of primary market research is individual interview, we explained, experiments and field trial, observations. A/B test introduced by Barack Obama's team. Now, people say that a picture speaks 1,000 words. So, show a picture and that will speak 1,000 words. Then someone extrapolated that to say that a video contains thousands of frames of pictures. So, a video is always better than a picture. So, initially before the election of just before the election campaign started, Barack Obama's marketing team showed a video inviting people to donate. They found a lot of people watched that video, but the conversion rate from watching to making donation was something like 25%. So, they thought something is wrong. Why the conversion rate is so small? So, they thought, let us put some photograph rather than video. So, they put the photo that is at number A, Barack Obama looking like an angel and inviting people to get involved, etc. They found that rather than video, the still picture actually did better. Around 45% was the conversion rate. But now they started doing more research. They challenged themselves. They challenged the first hypothesis that video is better. So, by challenging that, they put a still picture. Now, they challenged themselves even further. So, they put another picture. The message was familism, family like wife and daughter together, and the conversion rate went up to 85%. So, how people are going to react to the stimulation that you offer can be judged by real experiment. You put 2 different pictures at 2 different sites and see how many people are visiting those sites and what is the conversion rate. Wherever the conversion rate is more, you get to know that this is what we should do. Otherwise, it's very difficult a subject to really decide as to what. Most of the times it goes against conventional wisdom. So this is what we learn from that. Every visitor to your website is an opportunity. One visitor coming to your website and going away, there has to be a reason. And if you can take care of the reason, you are going to convert him or her into a customer. They may or may not be converted, but then you may know what motivates them, why they left your website without really making a purchase. If you know that, next time you will be smarter, you will be more educated. Question your assumption. Like Obama's team questioned their own assumption that a video is better than a still picture. They learned that images did better than video. Question your own assumption, your own hypothesis. Experiment early and experiment often. If they would have stuck with this video for a long time till the election, and then they realized at the fag end that that was not the right thing, giving an image of the right thing or giving the image of the family of the right thing, they would have lost opportunity. But then they realized at the very early stage that 25% conversion is not the right conversion rate. It's below average. So they experimented early and discovered the necessary change and achieved unexpected success. This is a screenshot from the same website, both this as well as this. So we will continue in the next session about other process of market research. Thank you for the time being.